Let's see if I can get without smushing my little Daisy. She has decided where she is.
We can move her though. She's pretty.
Well, she'll move too. She just does. She's a moving doggy. Look at us.
Look at us.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi, Daisy Doodle.
Hi, sister. Hi, sister.
Sisters.
How are you? How are you?
Sister.
You know more words to that than I do.
There's all kinds of. Yeah, let's not sing that. Some other time. We'll do the whole White Christmas.
The album.
Emily and Leah's version. It's going to sound very lounge singer kind of, right? Like, what about you over there?
This guy knows what I'm talking about.
This guy knows what I'm talking about.
That's right.
Just like that.
All the shoulder pads that we can find.
Oh, I got to get comfortable.
All the sequins, all the shoulder pads.
Where do I want to be, Leah?
How does that feel? Does that feel okay?
I can sit up straight. This feels fine.
I'm trying to figure out.
I'm comfortable. Are you comfortable?
I like it when the microphone's right next to my face.
Right there. So I was singing with the kids at church, right? Okay. And they were rowdy.
Oh.
Now these are ages like 4 to 11.
Mm-hmm,
okay.
Mm-hmm. That's a big span.
Yep. And my only goal is to have a good time.
Okay.
Just to have fun.
Yep.
I'm not to parent them or regulate that. You know what I mean? It's not, That's not my goal. My goal is to have fun. And
auntie vibes.
When it was, yes, it's exactly.
Yeah.
On June 7th, they lost their minds for 6-7.
Oh,
6-7, right? Like this whole, I can't even, we have a really good time. So they were very rowdy. And this weekend they were super rowdy. And I went over to the mic. There's a microphone nearby and we don't usually use it. And I went over and I went, and they looked at me and I go, I didn't know the microphone was on. And they all got really quiet, you know. The mic was a really good tool that day.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it's not the sort of thing you can keep because then they were like, I want to try. Right.
Yes.
You gotta.
Yeah.
A little. We worked in a round of Rudolph, a round of Twinkle Twinkle. Everybody was satisfied.
Did you do it in a round, or do you mean just did the song?
We did the song, but now that you mention it.
They're so fun
because there's adults in the room during that time. So if I can enlist the adults
for sure.
to help, like I'll start, then you start, then I'll get another one, and then the kids will follow. Mm-hmm. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
around.
Yeah.
Super
fun.
Me, I love to be sing-songy,
mm-hmm.
right? So it's a really good lane for me. And my voice is very like Disney princess kind of lane.
Sure.
So it's a very good, it's very good for me. I keep looking over here like I have a note to read. Like there's something that's going to direct me. You have the notes today.
I have some notes, yeah.
You have the notes. We were talking about the mysterious world of conflict that happens when you're waiting in line for pickup or drop off at school.
Well, and just the ways that people will kind of just human nature, like they'll take a cue and they'll follow the cue instead of thinking about the problem and kind
Path
of just
least resistance.
Figuring out what you're trying to solve for. Instead, they'll be like, oh, this is the thing that I'm doing. This is the thing I'm solving.
I'm waiting.
Yeah. So I was reflecting on when the kids were young and they were going to school in Winterport. There's the long drive to get into the middle school. And if it's really busy, then that drive will have cars parked all the way down it. So it's quite a ways, and there's no sidewalk for most of it if you were to walk from that parking to get all the way to the school building to pick up the kids. And I just always felt like, well, just because there's cars here doesn't mean that there isn't space available for me in the spot where I'm picking up my kids, I
need to obsessively check the camera.
Okay. So I just had that feeling like I'm not sure why I would simply just park my car, but it seemed like everyone would see a car parked and then they would decide to put their car there. And I would be the person going all the way to the school, and I would stop and pick up my kids, and I would leave. And there was no, I didn't even need to park most of the time. Or I just very quickly found a parking spot. There were parking spots available, and it just wasn't really a thing I needed to solve before I got there. And I just felt like that was kind of interesting because it seemed to always be the case.
It's so interesting.
School dances were similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if too people do that thing where you sit in the same seat every time. Is that a thing too, right? In the school pickup line, like this is my spot.
Oh, I don't know.
I think that is a part of it. Sometimes I don't know for sure, but I feel like I've seen that culture happen too in the pickup line where it's like, well, this is my spot. Here, babe, you can go. Good job. She did not know how to get out of the tangle of wires. I've seen people be like territorial.
Oh, that was never my experience, but I think it was just because the line was always moving. Like there wasn't, if you couldn't just move the car, then you were expected to park and go get, your kiddo.
Yeah.
So
I think I'm thinking of like elementary school, like Vine Street or that kind of a smaller school where you would park and wait for the kids, or it was a long time ago, or camp, and just parents. I think path of least resistance is a thing for sure when it's line waiting culture.
Well, and I think people just make assumptions. Like if they see one or two people do something, they're just going to do the thing instead of
lemming thing,
problem solving and doing whatever it is that you need to actually do, which to me is just interesting because I think that I'm always doing that,
it's
not
so
always doing whatever I see around me.
Yeah. It's very interesting.
Daisy, you got to decide. Okay.
Good girl.
We have a decision. She just doesn't want me to scritch her, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just leave me alone, Mommy.
Yeah, just.
And could you keep that wire off me, please? This is my spot. My gosh. I used to like to try to embarrass my kid at school drop-off.
Oh.
But not in a it's gentle embarrassment.
Yeah,
not
sure.
Like I would yell, "Have a rotten day."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it would get this look, this over the shoulder eye roll.
Yeah.
But people around would be sniggering, you know?
Yeah.
And so I just knew that it was just a click back from being downhearted or low energy. Just click it back just a little bit.
Yeah.
Or turn the volume up on the radio and it's something like the thong song or something just kind of absurd. Right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Do you remember when they were in that age group of the tween ages? It's between 11 and 14 or something, and we would have didn't we do a birthday party at the jump place once or something, and we were kind of grooving and dancing, and they were oh.
Yeah, and the three of them together,
was just the worst thing.
Your two and my one together, we're always are you kidding me? And poor JoJo, she was always
very
so embarrassed
to us.
So embarrassed. At least my kid kind of just was ugh, whatever.
Yeah.
Just ignore.
She was very sensitive to us being embarrassing humans.
To us being exactly who we are.
And we're cartoon characters.
Yes.
In real life.
It's horrible.
So.
It's horrible.
It's a little much.
We know we're a lot. It's okay.
Yeah. And I also know that, there's a time and place for something. If I'm at work, I'm a working human. I'm not I'm not just,
You're not Ace Ventura.
Yeah, all the time.
Not all the time.
Not all the time.
Only at appropriate moments.
That would be ridiculous.
That would be ridiculous.
And difficult.
Don't be ridiculous.
To manage.
That's absurd.
So no, of course not. But but she was sensitive to that for sure.
She probably still is a little bit. If we were all together out in public, she probably would put her head down a little bit. Because we're exactly the same now. Maybe a little worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. School drop-off line.
School drop-off line.
School
and
drop-off culture.
Humans behaving in weird ways. Yeah.
Yeah. What else were we talking about? There was a thing.
Where people choose to walk. Why would you choose to walk in front of a person?
If I'm sitting in a scenic area.
Yeah.
like the ocean is in front of me and I'm on a designated sitting place, like a bench or a seat, but it's a permanent part of the structure. Okay. So I'm sitting there. And so my body takes up space and there isn't a paved walkway right here. It's just grass and things. I'm in a park type of place and looking at the ocean. And then people come and they're walking around and there's lots of room because we're out in the open. We're like in a park type of space. But people will choose to walk close to me.
Yeah, like in the 2 feet in front
of
you.
Right here. Yeah. While I'm enjoying this view and I'm whatever, I'm writing, I'm eating, I'm sitting here by myself and we're in a huge outdoor park. And instead of walking anywhere else, they come here. They don't say hello to me.
Yeah.
They're not coming to sit down. They're not coming to ask for money. They're right. But they come get into the space.
Yeah.
I just find it interesting.
It is interesting. It's curious.
It's curious.
Because I think that I'm often looking to not disturb.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
So like, I'm like, well, if I'm thinking about it and I'm planning something out, I'm going to walk away. But I'm also thinking of like safety. So because if I'm out there by myself, the closer I get to another human, the higher the chances that there might be a problem, right? Even if that person seems to be just like an average person. Yeah. I'm still going to be thinking about that. So I'm going for space if I can.
I
might even go out of my way, like even walk through a parking lot instead of in front of another person.
Similar to that, but I'm also looking for efficiency. And sometimes I'm hiding. If I'm perfectly honest, right? Like I don't want an interaction.
Sure.
I don't want a surprise interaction. And if I walk too close and they're friendly, I'm going to be friendly back probably. Yeah. And now I'm in a conversation. And that isn't what I wanted, not what I planned for.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about efficiency usually, like this is not going to be an efficient path because they're going to say hello and I'm going to say hello. And then they're going to say, you look great in blue. And then I'm going to say, right. And then I'm going
to be like, thank you.
Right.
And now, if you give a mouse a cookie,
you understand.
Where did the compliments end?
I'm gonna sit down. If you
we're gonna go. Now I've just made a new friend. I didn't even want one.
And I was trying to hide and be efficient. And now I have a new best friend. This happens a lot.
But it turns out they're fabulous. So what was I even complaining
about? I feel like some people would tell me that if I would avoid the path of that person, if I was walking and the person was sitting there and I avoided it for peace or something, I can just feel the people telling me that it's people pleasing behavior to give them that space.
Oh, I feel like it's like respectful.
Yeah, I do too. I do too, but I feel like I'm channeling the advice that I often hear in the world.
Is people pleasing even really bad? I mean, I think that there are some ways where if there's the measure would be if it's a detriment to you, right?
I think
in some way or something.
I think so. But if you go out of your way to make sure that other people are happy and you don't ever do that for yourself, I think might be something what this people pleasing thing ? I don't really know.
Yeah, I think that in some ways, aren't we isn't that what we're here for? You know, people are here for people.
Yeah, I'm trying to bridge it into I want to be on the people pleaser talk side for devil's advocate. I think that the goal of that label is to help the individual who doesn't take responsibility for their happiness. Okay, so if I'm a people pleaser, then I never take care of myself because I'm always trying to make sure everyone else is taken care of. Like that thinking, I think.
Yeah, I guess.
I think the culture around that
lot of
thinking
from there to there
is why the terminology people pleaser exists, is because of that discussion of self-care. You got to take care of yourself. Right. But relationships are everything. I don't know if you know that about me, but
I've heard that before.
Something that I believe. Humans are they're just everywhere. Humans are everywhere. And so if we choose to say, F them, I don't really care what they want. I don't care if this lady is enjoying this view. I'm walking here.
Well, and that's the part that I'm curious about, is that I'm not sure what it is. So I'm like, what is that? What is the thought?
Are we making a mountain out of a molehill? Is there no thought at all?
For sure, we're making a mountain out of a molehill, because we're talking about something that really doesn't need to be discussed, right? No. So, like, for sure, we're doing that. But also, I don't know, do they even notice?
That's what I'm saying. Like, is there even any thought in it at all?
Yeah.
Is it just zero thinking?
Is it possible that it's not about
me? It's not about us?
Wait! Is that even possible?
Wait! Just a moment. I do not receive that. Wait right there. Are you saying
it could entirely be true
that they're just going along in their everyday life?
Yeah.
Without even it doesn't even,
right.
We don't really exist.
Right.
I just need to sit with that for a minute. That doesn't,
I think that's it's a possible.
I think it could be a real possibility.
I'm not good at algebra, but it's possible.
I'm not a mather, but that adds up.
It adds up.
No, I think you're right about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where else could I mind my business?
Well, there were some.
That's fantastic.
Some other things that we were kind of thinking about, right?
Yeah, you have notes, I think, right?
About. And one of them had to do with like where people land with bill splitting.
Oh, like relationship.
When they live with another partner, a life partner, and whether they do like a 50-50 route, or whether they do equitable by income or some other method.
And are we only talking finances or like resources, like chores?
Right. What are we talking about?
Right. Like energies in the home too. Interesting. In my house, it's rationed by capacity.
Yeah, say more about that.
So, we actually, early on in our relationship, we decided to have separate bank accounts, and we designate these bills come from this bank account and these bills come from this bank account because of the capacity of that bank account to handle those bills. So it's one type of capacity, right? So this earning capacity here takes care of these bills. This earning capacity takes care of these bills. And there was also some level of we spend money differently, and we have different priorities on spending that's not necessary. Okay. So spending on things that are quality of life or whatever. I don't know. Some people would say quality of life is necessary, but I'm saying things that aren't for food and shelter and safety, right? Yep. So entertainment, recreation, social things. He and I have different priorities on that. And so instead of me being angry with him for buying another black North Face jacket that is on sale, instead of being angry about that, if he takes it out of his pocketbook instead of out of my pocketbook, I can let go of that. And so that was something we decided to do together to reduce that conflict between us. Because personally, I feel like it's none of my business if he wants to buy that black jacket, just like it's none of his business if I want to buy a black jacket, right? So that's just our philosophy.
End up buying the same black jacket.
That's our philosophy on that kind of spending. And in the house, the chores in the house is a similar. Oh, I just noticed you have Dare to Lead over there. I love that book. The equity for resources in the house is similarly divided, but that's a dynamic. I know I'm using lots of like work language, but like that plan is a living plan. It changes. So if he's feeling like he's at 15% capacity, then I'm not going to ask him to help with this or that, right? And when he is feeling fantastic, he does as much as he can. So we have to have an open dialogue that goes on about that, or we end up with like resentments and assumptions. Like I might think to myself, if he was feeling up to it, he would do more. And then I see him go play and have fun with something, then I might be feeling like, what the hell? What? You have energy to do that, but not this kind of thing.
Sure.
So for us, we have to talk about it just to have peace around it. But that wasn't a very exciting thing to share about. I don't know. We used to argue about money in the beginning.
Well, I think what's interesting is that I feel like there used to be, I think Daisy has a few things to say. There used to be more tradition, I think, in the households that I've lived in.
Yep.
In terms of like provider role versus supportive role, or, and mental load and all of that. But that was kind of largely driven by kids and having a family unit to have to navigate around and plan for and manage.
Yeah, different kind of culture.
Yeah, so there was a lot that went into that that I think shaped that. But I think what I'm hearing more is that a lot of couples or people who live together are doing more of like equitable splits they're in some cases living in separate bedrooms, keeping their spaces separate. Also, and I just think that that's really interesting, because why can't you
of course
do
you can.
what you want to do?
Right. Yeah,
right?
Of course you can.
Why can't you do what you want to do?
Yeah, like we have separate blankets. We have separate blankets in our bed. And I am a much happier sleeper if I have my own blanket. Just a happier sleeper. I get better rest, and I feel, I don't know, safer is the right word. Like when I'm in my bed, I have more control over what happens in and around myself if I have my own blanket. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just, I love it.
You know the blanket's going to be there.
Yeah. He struggled with that when I was like, no, I want my own blanket. He felt there was some like rejection he was feeling there.
Yeah, we have talked about, because of course, I have all of these ways that I could conjure up living this like uber independent life with my partner at the same time.
Yeah.
So of course there's all these ways that I think of doing those things. Like I would love it if he bought a condo next door.
Yes.
To mine.
Yes.
And we had like a shared kitchen.
I have a very good friend.
I would love that. But also I do enjoy, sharing the same room and all of that. I also would kind of like it if it were only the bedroom, and like all of our clothes lived in somewhere else, or if there were, you know what I mean, like all the little things that we need like around us could be in a different space, so that it never felt cluttered and it never felt like there was these other things to have to manage.
This is a good dream list. Yeah. I think some people do live this way. They have cracked the code. I have a very good friend who has been in a relationship for almost 20 years with the same person, and they have separate bedrooms.
Really?
Yep. And they're very happy that way.
Yeah. Well, and I think, there's different things that kind of come into play, right? Like snoring. Like it's very difficult for one person to sleep through snoring of another person, and I have to have noise. So I need to have a fan going, but not only a fan going, I need something else to be speaking in my ear or just out in the open.
I like a fan
or whatever to just kind of keep that going. And I think that that's probably from when we were kids. We used to sleep with the radio on.
Yeah.
And I need something.
If there is no noise, and if the noise suddenly stops, I am unsettled.
Yeah, I'll wake up and then
scared. Like
all I'm
I'll wake
thinking
up
about
scared.
is all the nightmare things that I could possibly dream up in the middle of the night.
Like
that
the
during
power
the day,
got shut off, like all of these. Yeah. Yes. Horrible. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So then suddenly I'm awake, and not only awake, living in a nightmare and convinced that there's terrible things happening.
Yeah. And it's been like 30 seconds.
Yeah. But honest to goodness, I fell asleep fine. It's just suddenly there's nothing good happening in the world, and everything is terrible.
I'm a white noise at well, it doesn't matter what kind of noise it is, honestly. It could be a school bus. I can sleep on an airplane. If there's noise, I can sleep. If it's too quiet, I can.
Yeah, when it's too quiet, it's hard.
I am the second oldest of 10. I can sleep anywhere. just not if it's quiet.
Yeah.
I can't sleep if it's quiet. Can't relax if it's quiet.
Yeah, and I think John can sleep with quiet. He can also just fall asleep like a Fraggle, so he can fall
The
asleep
drop of a
just
hat.
kind of sitting up.
Well,
So that's a little I
I
I'm
can
not
if
quite
there's
that way,
noise.
but
If there's noise and things happen, I can. If no one needs me, and I can just
yeah.
power down.
Hat off. Yeah, so we split bills equitably because there's a big difference between our
Yeah.
incomes.
So when
and
you
that
say
was something we
equitable,
talked
you
about.
again like capacity, similar kind of word, equitable.
Yeah, it's just financial capacity.
right.
Yeah. So because otherwise, the person who's making more, if they're making like 40% more
Yeah.
than you are, then
But the bills are split
their
50-50.
their standard of living is a lot, higher than yours is. And so we talked about that and agreed on that early on. But that wasn't the way that I've done things in other, relationships and things like that. So I appreciate that and that flexibility. And I think that I'm just seeing more of that kind of out in the world and when people are talking about how they choose to do things and the way that they communicate something. And then when we talk about like the labor, that's a little different. Like he does the dishes more. That's on his mind a lot more often. Whereas I might really want the bathrooms to be clean. That's on my mind, And so I think we kind of just let that go naturally. And I try to be more aware because I know that I don't think about the dishes as often as he does. So I try to be like, oh, I have a few minutes. I should go do these dishes so that he doesn't always do them every single time.
It's good.
But we also trade off too, where if I'm cooking, then he will do the dishes and he'll jump right up and say, no, you don't.
Did you talk that out? Was that an agreement that you made, or did it just happen? The cooking and cleaning, sharing kind of thing.
Some of it is kind of natural, but we also communicate about it too.
I think it helps. I think it's nice because you build these expectations just from habits, from living together, and then you start to build expectations. But if you haven't said it out loud, it can often lead to the gap in connection there.
Yeah, and I try to remember from all of those experiences that I've had before to say out loud, I could use your help.
Yeah.
I appreciate could you help me
that.
With this?
Thank you for
yes,
that.
and
right.
thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
So I do noticed try to make sure.
I noticed you noticing me cooking and that the dishes was going to be extra work. I appreciate you seeing that, and I see this. I see you doing it. I see you noticing. Right? That is important. Yeah. Do you think when you two get married that you'll change your financial thing? Will you join bank account? You know what I mean? Do you think things will be
really
different?
Decided yet. You know, I think that one of the things that I wanted to know was that we were working toward the same goals. And we're still kind of working that out because we also are people who change often. And so that makes things a little trickier to predict and plan out.
Sure it does.
And so where we've had two separate households for a long time, we're still getting out from under having two separate households. So that's going to take some time to get back into that. And then financial planning, long term, things like that. Like we both just started. Well, I start paying on my student loans here very soon, and he just started doing his as well because we were both in school at the same time. So that's another thing that we hadn't really
for sure
started as a couple. We started that independently. So there's a lot of different things that we have to kind of think about and work out, and then like changing in jobs and all of that. So there's a lot of stuff that kind of goes into place. So right now we haven't really changed anything. Right now, we're doing things the way that we have.
Yeah.
I think that our goal is to sit down and look at everything once we start to figure out how this is all working.
And then
because
make
we're
choices.
also going to be paying for a wedding, which for us is just going to be a trip.
Sure.
But
yeah, that makes sense to me. I'm just thinking about how and you don't have to change just because you're getting married. You don't have to change just because things are changing. But you need to keep talking about it, right?
Right.
Like some people would say that you need to have a joint bank account when you get married because you're getting married. Like I've had people tell me I was wrong to not have a joint bank account with Jason. You know what I mean?
I think that the times that it matters is when there's an emergency and one of you is
and people have
incapacitated.
access, right?
That's
Yep.
when it matters most, right?
Yep.
And so making sure that you plan for that, I think, is really important if you're going to continue to keep things separately. I think the way that I worked that out with partners before was yours, mine, and ours. So we had separate bank accounts and we had one joint bank account as well. And the joint account was for X, Y, and Z.
Sure.
And, we just kind of handled it like that. But having someone else's name on something or giving them access or something, that's all just important for logistics when something goes wrong.
Sometimes it's important to the person, to one or both people, to feel safe in the relationship, also to have that access. Like you might have a partner that expresses a desire to have a joint bank account to feel important, to feel valuable, to feel connected, to feel safe, and like you're in this for the long run, right? And that's important too, I think. If it's important to one of the members of the relationship, I would reconsider. Like if I was feeling like it was not important, I would be willing to reconsider the importance of it if my partner was expressing a desire to have that, to feel like they're in this partnership with me.
Yeah, sure. It just depends on, what's behind it, right?
Right. Yeah.
Why do you feel that way? Tell me more about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if they were, I can imagine a situation where somebody would want that just to be controlling, or
yeah, actually, I was watching, my programs.
My programs, watching my shows,
and
Ultimatum. I want to talk about Ultimatum.
Okay, this was 90 Day Fiance.
Oh yeah, I like that too.
Retreat, something rather.
Yep.
So these are like couples who have been couples for a long time, and they're going back through this immersive therapy program together or whatever. And I mean, it's TLC is just putting together another reason to follow these people, right? And there's this couple, and it was interesting. So the one partner said, I wish that you were a good wife. And I think that was the word
that's
that
how they said
I
it.
wish that you were a good wife. And
Golly.
the other person was like, I don't understand that. Like, I don't understand what you're talking about. Like, be a good wife.
And what does that mean?
How am I not a good wife?
Right.
So like they're interpreting it as, you just said I'm not a good wife.
That's like if you sit down with your boss and they say, I wish you were a good employee.
Yeah. And they went on to say that what they were trying to get at was my view of what I thought marriage would be like right?
Yep.
So that was what they were trying to get at. But then they couldn't get there because now they're conflict as though that person called them names.
Right. And they can't even talk about what they were trying to talk about.
And so she couldn't really get past it. And then she was just kind of demanding an apology.
Oh.
Right. And then he's like, but we still haven't talked about what I'm trying to talk about.
Oh.
And what he was getting at was, you're always working. And because you're always working, I don't feel taken care of. So I don't feel like my needs are met. Right. So essentially, that's really what he was trying to get to. But he needed to talk through it to get there.
Yep.
And she needed for him to choose some different words, but also English is his second language.
Right. That's
so
really
when he says
hard.
good wife,
that's
he
really hard.
Right. So like it was so
God, I find this stuff
common.
fascinating.
Like it seemed like it could be
I
so
think
easy
it is
to step in that.
And
right?
I think that could happen to any relationship. That doesn't have to be a non-English speaking relationship, right?
Yeah. Right, because we all use words in different ways.
Yes!
We all like attach meaning to different things. And
I was just talking to somebody about this. This is why I ask people those 3 questions over and over again, right? Is to explore those avenues where we can all be talking about a cup. Okay. All of us could be talking about a cup, but maybe you call this a jar. Maybe someone else calls it a glass.
Right.
Someone calls it a jug.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Someone might call it a pint, whatever different. But if we're going to work together and we need to design a project, we need to pick a word that we can all agree to use to represent this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And how just non-productive it is when we don't take the time to define the common thing.
Right.
Or even explore, even explore that we have different definitions for it. Just to bring that to the table can be such a powerful thing. And that is similar to what I was thinking about in the ultimatum that happened in that relationship with Blake and what's her name? I can't remember her name. The blonde, that really pretty blonde, and Blake, and they were in their trial marriage. Mm-hmm. And he was offering her some therapy, right? It seemed like he's been to therapy, or maybe he's in school to be a therapist or something.
Well, what we saw in the series was that he turns to ChatGPT a lot.
Yes.
And takes a lot of therapeutic language and uses it. So I don't know
that's all we saw.
Would say he is in therapy necessarily, because I feel like that may not necessarily be true.
Either he's bringing this from his own experience, or he's in school to learn about this stuff, and that's why he seemed to portray a role of someone who had more experience in relationships and understanding social behavior than she did.
Yeah.
Or at least he seemed like he felt like that about himself.
He believed he was that person.
Yes. Right. And he seemed like he really wanted to help her sort of become more self-aware about her role in her other relationship, that she wants to marry this guy who seems like maybe he could be not so good for you. And he's trying to help her come to that on her own. And at some point, because of other communication and experience with other people, she started to feel like he was manipulating her. And she attacked him a little bit. And then his desire to be a helpful teacher to her dissolved.
Right, that's right. He took a backseat, and then it became...
And then he was defending himself and worrying about being right and making sure, like, you kind of saw him go back around and say, nope, I need to stand up for myself.
And getting her to admit, like, getting her to step into his point of view instead of understanding that there were two
that was the disintegration, was to see that her fear and ego and his fear and ego puff up, and then they were no longer working on anything. Right. It was I need to prove this, or like I'm misunderstood, like that kind of thing. And it was just so fascinating to me to watch this happen. And of course, on top of all of that, this is just through a lens the only lens that we have. Right? So we don't even know what the experience was actually like. It's just what it looked like from here, from this lens. But from my brain, who loves to think about relationships and communication and conflict, I look at this and I think, oh my gosh, I wish that we could have pushed pause right here and then watch this playback all together and talk about these two discussions.
Right. That would have been a really interesting way for them to add, like, a therapeutic method to
stop
right
here.
Right?
Let's stop right here.
Let's go ahead and just wind back what we saw yesterday.
Because, oh my gosh, 5 minutes ago, you two were each other's biggest fan.
Yeah.
And you were helping each other get ready to go back to your other relationship in a super productive and constructive and supportive way. And then suddenly it fell apart. And that's why I was just like, wow.
It was pretty interesting. And the like back and forth and all of that. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And how the two pairs of partners had tried to, like, they came together and spent a whole day together trying to, like.
It's always interesting to me to see these shows, because I feel like there's so much emphasis placed on the marriage perspective, like the whole concept.
It
the
is
ultimatum,
interesting,
right?
which is such a
like,
traditional.
Marry me or get out.
It's this Western American, social construct that this is the right thing and this is the acceptable thing and this is success.
I gotta wonder, like, how often does that happen after you've been married?
What do you mean?
Well, like, I think that's why these people are always so young.
Because they haven't been married yet.
Right. Because I feel like if you've been married and it didn't work out, and then you go into another relationship, it's a very different, like, I think from my perspective, I thought of marriage in a different way after that. You know,
for sure.
It wasn't like a milestone. It was different, you know?
So you think that's probably why they don't have too many shows on this stuff with people that are our age and older?
Probably.
Because it's not exciting.
Well, because it's kind of like, oh, you got married, okay.
Yeah, that's great.
You know?
Good for you, right?
Yeah, but
how's that working out for you?
The other things that we're doing and achieving or, you know, working toward are just more engaging for us now, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I just climbed a mountain yesterday, you know,
right,
and it's like,
yes.
awesome.
I rode a horse on Monday,
that.
dude.
Yeah.
And I did not have to jump off. Yeah. Right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's just not. Yeah.
And if doesn't hold the same value.
Like, it's profitable. It's a profitable culture thing, right? For consumerism and all of that too.
But I wonder how that will change. Like if we're changing things in other ways, like the equitable division of labor and financial responsibilities,
sort of breaking out of the traditional
is that also
gender
shifting?
roles and all of that. I think it must, right? I think it must. I just think these are the things that take like a 20 to 30 year time to sort of wax and wane for us to study them and learn about it. But I think so.
Well, speaking of old-fashioned things, at least in my mind, do you make your bed every day or don't you?
So again, I feel like I'm an outlier in the data set because I sweat so much at night. I cannot make my bed. That would be disgusting.
Okay.
The bed clothes have to dry.
Yeah. Okay.
And my pillowcases get changed frequently.
Yeah.
Because my face will be all broken out and gross. Like I sweat that much.
Okay.
If I get out of bed at night, I can't go back to bed.
Okay. So before that though, before you started sweating at night, was there ever a period of
I was like
time?
22 then.
Okay.
And so because I started this when I had my tubes tied and I was 24, 25 when that happened. And so that was when I started getting really bad night sweats. Before that, I think I was a bed maker. Like when I was in the Air Force.
You were in the military.
When I was in the Air Force, I was a bed maker for sure. And it did give me a feeling of like order. I would like, and routine, you know? So like this is done, like check. And there's just something very satisfying about check, right? Bed's made, check. But I don't think I ever cared.
Yeah.
As a child, my room was hard to navigate, right? I didn't really need things to be tidy to function. It was encouraged to clean my room.
Yeah. Yeah, I am not a bed maker.
Yeah.
I think it's like growing grass to cut it.
Yes, silly.
I think it's silly. Like why would I do that? I mean, if I only want my bed made when I need to fold laundry and I need a place
to put the clothes.
To fold laundry. Yep. Like that's the only time that I really care about it. Or when it's like a fresh bed.
Yeah, or if I shared my bed with animals, I would probably make the bed.
Yeah.
To keep stuff I didn't want in my sheets. Outside, I don't want their paws in their sheets. I know a lot of people do, and I'm not judging you. It's for me. It's not a thing for me. And I don't want shoes on my bed. I don't know. Yeah. If I shared my bed with that, yes, I would have the bed made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. That's a good question though. And I think most people think that making a bed is like something you're supposed to do.
Yeah, and that's probably why I feel so
you're such a rebel.
That it's silly to me.
I'm all about civil disobedience too. So I will intentionally resist a rule that feels silly.
Yeah, and I've, it's not like I'm opposed to trying things. Like I have tried,
especially if you can justify it to me.
Making the bed and seeing, it
like
has,
if you can support the claim.
Zero impact on my life.
If you tell me that making my bed is going to make my life better, I am interested in learning what you know. And if you can justify that to me, if you can give me some really good evidence to support your claim, I'm probably going to try it because I would rather learn what you learned. I don't want to have to go through it myself.
I mean, I'll try it without the evidence, but if I don't see it shake out on my end, I'm not going to keep doing it because meh. I don't care.
Meh. What else you got for me?
What else we got? We talked a little bit about this. I know how you feel but they might not know how you
Mm.
feel. So, dogs or cats or
Oh.
both?
Oh. You may not know how I feel.
Oh, okay.
You may not know how I
Okay.
feel about
All right.
this. I say no pets at all.
No pets at all.
Um,
That's a shift.
so that would be like if I lived alone.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have any animals at all.
Okay.
And I just think that's because I'm never home,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just always busy doing
Mm-hmm.
things, and I don't want to put the bandwidth into taking care of creatures.
Yeah.
Human or not.
Yep.
Any creatures.
Yeah, I have grown beyond the
Yep.
nurturing
10 years
as
ago,
well.
I would have said both cats and dogs. And I have had cats and dogs and hamsters and fish and things like that. But I don't think I have like a preference to personalities traits of cats and dogs. I don't think I have a preference at all. I think that there's a lot of great things about cats and a lot of great things about dogs. But I think they're both germ factories.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, and like
just like little kids,
dirt carriers.
Yes,
right? Like
children
they
and
have little,
small creatures,
little pebbles
Yep.
of dirt in their little paws.
Well, and there's a bunny
Their
in my
fur.
yard this morning that I took a great picture of because my fancy camera has all these lenses, see it, like all the right, and so I could zoom right in on this bunny and look at his eyes, and everything. And he's looking at me, and I was like, oh, there's bugs on him. Stay right over there, bun.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm all
There's
set.
bugs there.
Right, like that.
That's funny. Yeah, so I'm a dog person for a couple of reasons. One of them being that they're much easier to train than a cat.
Oh, indeed.
And so, I can have my boundaries
Yep.
with a dog. So I can say like, no, this bedroom's off
Yes,
limits, or
right.
this, I want you to go over there because I don't want to share my lap right now,
Okay,
or
that's
whatever. So that
Yep.
part, that's why I like dogs more. And also, I'm allergic to cats.
I was going to say, I
So
thought you had an allergy.
I actually can't live with cats, or shouldn't live with cats. I have before.
Yeah, I thought you had an allergy.
But my health does suffer quite a bit if I do live with them. So
Yep.
I should not. Yeah. And I enjoy their personalities, though.
I do. I do enjoy
think
cat
that there's something
personalities.
about, Robin Williams did a great thing about cats,
Ooh,
like,
he really
pet
did.
kitty.
Yeah.
Yep. And how they can
did.
be so just self-serving and like divas,
Mhm.
and then they just disappear, or they
Yep.
just like hiss at you all of a sudden.
touch
There's
me.
something. Yeah.
Yes, I do appreciate cat personalities very much. Yeah, and I do remember with the last time I had cats were named Anakin and Padme. Nerd level check.
I also think
level
that
check.
cat owners tend to come up with the best animal names too.
Mm.
Like, they'll
agree.
have like, some sort of character names
Great
or
names.
things like that are really very good.
Yeah, the Barretts have always used dog names from books, fantasy,
Yeah.
science fiction books. Yeah. Yeah, Anakin and Padme were my last pair of kitties that I had, and they were bobtail Manx cats. And I did not allow them in my bedroom, so I always shut the door at night. The dogs go in a kennel.
Yeah.
For their safety, so they don't.
Yeah.
That's not a thing. But for the cats, we had to shut the door, or they would come in and wake me up at night. I cannot. I cannot live with an animal that won't let me sleep.
Yeah.
I can't function
Yeah.
like that, and I will not behave in a way that is civil.
Right.
So we don't do that.
Yeah.
And for a while, the cats were mad at Jason.
Oh.
And they would go pee on his things. This was later. This was when we were bringing cats in the house. I mean, dogs in the house.
Oh.
So like during COVID time, we brought services in the house. And this is before.
Did you still have cats during COVID?
Yeah. This was before we moved to the new house. When we moved to the new house was around the time that the cats went away.
Oh, okay.
So before that, we were bringing dog clients in-house during COVID, and sometimes the cats would be really mad at him and they would go pee on his stuff, only his stuff. And I was afraid they were going to pee on the bed, so there were some behaviors that just come with a cat sometimes.
Yeah.
And that was a challenge.
Oh, yes.
That was a challenge. They were so funny with the dogs around. They would sneak into the room.
Yeah.
And they would wait there until everyone looked at them. And then they would just like prance out. across the room in front of the dog and everyone and flick their tail.
Remember when Belle was new and she wanted to play with those cats so much, and they were so rotten to her. Like they would play with her for a minute and then they would be like, don't touch me. And they would hold themselves back and just watch across the gate. Like, don't you want to play with me? Yeah.
And I would find Anakin with his hair all spiky and wet all along his head and back because she would just groom him, and he would let her as long as no one was looking.
Yeah.
He would let her. And he had a tail, and the other one didn't have a tail. Right. The girl cat did not have a tail. Boy cat had a tail, and he would just use that tail, flick it. Rest in peace, Belly Button, too. She's been gone for a few summers now. Missed her. We did not fill that vacancy, the third dog vacancy.
Yeah, and we've talked about it, and I don't really know what will happen. We'll see. I mean, John just sent me a picture of a puppy the other day. I'm like, no.
Oh, my word.
No, choose the
Someone
Max
in the neighborhood
anyway.
got a new corgi, dude.
Oh, that's sweet.
I might make room in my house for a corgi.
I like to say, we'll get the puppy, but which one's going?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But I've said, being that we got Daisy when the kids were still kids and all of that, I've said that I'm all done with animals. When it's her.
I'm so glad that you got Daisy and
it's her time.
Not a baby. I'm so glad that you got Daisy.
That would be a really complicated conversation, wouldn't it?
Yes.
How do you feel about people putting their happiness second for their pets, like changing their own lifestyle for the sake of the cat or the dog? Or
can you give me a more specific example, or is it gonna give it away? I don't want you to bust yourself for judging somebody.
I know. No, I don't have a person specific in mind or anything like that, but I'm just thinking about there are certain things that I have that I won't sacrifice on behalf of the dog. And when the kids were growing up, one of the rules that we set with the kids right away was, if this dog gets out and this dog runs into the street, you do not run after the dog.
Correct.
You do not. You call the dog if you can. Yep. Or you wait for the dog to get to the other side and you try to just keep eyes on the dog and let a grown-up know where they went. You do not run after that dog. I
agree.
And that, so that's an extreme example, right? But then I think of the different ways that people might disrupt their own lives. So I was thinking about the sleep thing that you were talking about,
Oh, right. The cat. It cannot be woken up by
the
cats.
cat that's going to disrupt you or whatever. Well, your cat's going to be upset, right? You shut the door. The cat's going to be mad. So what are the rules?
Dude, the cat would go to I'm going to answer your question, but the cat would go to the door like this and would meow.
Yeah.
Meow. And then it would go.
Yeah.
And then, I don't think they can hear me.
Yeah.
I think I better. And then the paw would come under the door.
Yeah, the paw. Yeah.
I think that I would sacrifice very little for my pets to be comfortable, and I am not comfortable.
Yeah.
That is just not the way I function. But I know, I have done things for kids that in that light, I would eat crap so that they could have good food.
Yep.
Where we probably all should have eaten good food.
Yeah.
Or
not eat so that they could get their needs taken care of, because we had to run to the concert or whatever, that was happening.
Yes, right. They need
15 minutes after school.
Right. They've got to have this, and and I will go without. I will ignore my body. I will, yes. And in those days, I might have also done the same for pets. I might have. But when our kids were pretty little, I just had the two cats. Because I had just lost three dogs in a row.
Yeah.
Had died, boom, boom, boom. And Shep died. It was an ex-boyfriend's dog. And I was very heartbroken from all those dogs dying one after another. And I can see a version of me that would sacrifice. Yeah, I can see that, but it's not how I think anymore. And I have some pretty, because of having a dog trainer in my life, I think I have some sort of controversial views about that too, because a pet is not a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll, like in the car, like when people let their dogs be free in the car, I feel like this is a controversial kind of topic.
I think it is, because I
Or sensitive.
see so much of it in different
It's sensitive.
ways.
Yeah. I feel very, very strongly that a dog loose in a car is 100% wrong. It's completely wrong. It's such a risk for the dog, for the people who are in the car. The whole thing is wrong. And I did not always believe that, but I didn't even give it thought, really, because I didn't ever live a life where a dog was in a car with me, ever. When I was a young adult, I would have to take Sandy's dogs to the vet sometime, things like that. But those dogs were so rarely in a car, they didn't behave well. And a kennel inside the car wasn't a thing, excuse me. We would someone would have to ride in the back seat with the dog. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But people say things like, "Oh, it makes them so happy to stick their head out the window."
Right, and that's kind of what I mean. Like, they
see, them so happy.
Yeah, they see that there's a measure of happiness that they're getting.
And I'm like, would you let your kid do that? And why not?
Yeah, because it's not.
It's
safe.
not. That's not safe.
Yeah,
that is not safe. It's not safe. And if you live by a busy street and you open your car door and your dog is not leashed and your dog gets hit by a car, that is your fault.
I just wouldn't even want, because just imagining like the worst that could happen and that I was somehow the thing that caused it, that is just the thought of it is too much for me. So, and our dogs, they don't have a kennel in the car, but they do have seats that they clip into.
And they have harnesses.
And they're on harnesses. Yeah. So we walk them on choke chains for reasons. And or what people call choke chains, prong collars.
Yeah, pinch collar. Self-correcting.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, they're not super self-correcting if you don't use them the way that
they got to be used right. Yeah,
because Shay will drag you down the street.
Oh yeah, because they don't really hurt. Different way. So if you don't really know how to use the tool, then it's not a tool.
Yeah. But when we take them into the car, they're on a harness. They're not clipped by the throat into the seats, and they sometimes will share a seat, and sometimes they keep their seats separate. Cute. Depends on what kind of a mood Daisy's in, but
that's cute.
But so that's how we transport them, is like that. And also, like, the dogs are encouraged to lay down in their spot and to, relax and all of that, and not like fuss and try to get like up to where we are. And that kind of thing. Because there's a bit of a tether there. They can move a little bit on that. They can stand up and turn around and all of that. But we also don't let them hang out the window either. Because I worry about rocks and stuff. Yeah,
it's not safe. Or if they jump out, dogs can get through small cracks.
Yeah.
And if the thing is that the dog, like if the dog thinks that there's a benefit outside that window, like something that makes them excited, a toy or like prey drive, right? If it's a bird or a mouse or a cat, something that makes them really like lose their mind, no amount of love for you will keep the dog in the car. The dog's going to go.
Yeah.
They're just going to go. It's because it's a dog. It's an animal. And that's a trigger. And it's just not safe. It's not safe. And if you have to slam on the brakes and the dog is flying through the air.
Yeah, that's enough to keep me from
being like, so, thank you.
I mean, well, and when I have Daisy for all over my face right now, but when I first got Daisy, she was anxious in the car. So she needed to be clipped in order to even go anywhere in the car. Otherwise, it would be the most miserable experience ever.
Well, and that's
she would
the
be
key.
crying and fussing and crying and fussing and crying and fussing the whole way. So when she was brand new, it was kennel. And then when she got a bit bigger, it was, securing her in a nice little bucket seat.
Yeah, she has a cute little
with buckles and things like that, so that she could feel secure and safe.
We'll make those kinds of sacrifices. I'm happy to make those kinds of sacrifices for my dog. Like I'll make your my 2 dogs ride in kennels, but they get a bone, they have water, there's treats, there's, they have what they need to be happy and safe in that specific space. But the sacrifice is you give up the back of your car for everything, right?
Right. Or buy something custom.
Spend money.
That,
right.
costs money or whatever.
Yeah. I'm happy to make those kinds of sacrifices.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I get a little wound up about that. It's just so unsafe for everyone involved.
Yeah. How do you feel about birds living in captivity? Or pet birds?
So complicated. Do you want to talk about Puff the parakeet?
Puff the parakeet.
So there were times I think that the root of my dislike of spending time with birds comes from Puff and prior to that, spending time on farms.
Well, and we had a goose.
Yeah. I didn't really spend a lot of time with that goose.
Yeah.
I wasn't around that house very much.
Yeah.
But when I was a little girl and we lived down in Ellsworth, there were farmers around us and we spent time with them. And during that time, those birds were bigger than us. Right? And that was scary.
Yeah. The roosters were mean.
Really mean.
They weren't that's what they were for. They were supposed to be mean.
Protect the hens.
And they were very protective. And yeah, that wasn't wasn't fun for a 4-year-old running around or whatever. And the goose was mean. I don't really remember the goose except when I get around another goose. And then I'm like, oh, I know exactly what that means when they do that. And
I know about that.
I have no interest in getting any closer. And when I go to Florida, I assume every bird is a goose. And that they
yeah. Even if it's like a flamingo.
They would prefer that I was not around.
That's your baseline. I got you. The culture around the bird.
My assumption is that the bird does not want me there.
Yeah.
And will take
you're probably right.
action.
You're probably right.
Against it.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. I have been enjoying learning about the birds that are around my house. I like the Merlin app. It's a free app. You can push record and it will listen to the bird songs and tell you what they are.
Okay.
And it lights up when this bird is singing, it lights up on the list. So
fun.
I really like that. Puff the parakeet ruined me for pet birds. When I would visit that house, that bird had free range.
We should tell what we're talking about. So at my dad and stepmother's house, my stepmother had a parakeet when we combined households.
Right.
And so that Puff the parakeet. And there was a couple more too. There was Clyde. There was a lady parakeet. I can't remember what her name was.
Yeah, I didn't at some point or before Puff died and those birds were there too. I spent even less time at that house. So I didn't really get to know those birds at all. But when I was there, that bird would land on me when I was sleeping on the couch.
Oh, yeah.
He would just land on my forehead.
Yeah. I don't remember.
He was allowed to eat off our plates.
I do remember him sitting with Tad a lot. I remember him sitting with Tad a lot and sitting on his head.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of pictures of that. I don't remember much about him except that sometimes he could be a little jerky, bite you, and stuff.
He was allowed to pull food off my plate. And I couldn't really wrap my head around that.
Yeah.
And it felt like I had no status at all in the pecking order in the house. Zero.
Yeah.
And so I had a new mom.
Yeah.
And all of that garbage.
Yeah.
Right. And so this was another underline that I did not belong in the space. Right. So it added to that.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Puff was, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of birds living in houses just because I feel like they can't possibly be very happy. But I don't know.
But I don't really know either, right? Yeah.
I don't know anything about birds.
I love to watch the videos on the social medias of people who have great relationships with their pet birds. Like the bird will come into the camera and do cute things or say funny things.
Dances
and they've clearly developed these wonderful relationships with the bird. This woman I used to work with named Sarah, she has lovebirds, and you can tell by the way she talks about them how much joy it brings her life. And it sounds like the birds are very happy because they're busy, they're intellectually stimulated, and they get to exercise like
I should
having
just
any
say,
pet.
if I feel like if I, because I really don't know because I
Yeah.
haven't owned one. I feel like if I were a bird, I would not be happy.
Yes.
How. So
Well,
it's really
this is it. That's what we
it's
do, right?
personifying, right?
We're
So
just
it's not-
projecting. We're projecting. Yeah. Yep. I mean, and that's what we do with the dogs in the car.
Right.
Like we think we put our human personality on the animal.
Yeah.
And predict what we say they're thinking and feeling, and really their little brains are much simpler than our human social complicated brains often.
Even this one.
What about
keeps
dogs who
one
talk,
ear
dude?
up so she can pay attention.
What about dogs who talk with the buttons?
Oh my goodness.
Bunny. I'm a hard no. I love Bunny.
The button dog.
I love Bunny. Did you see? And there's
She's
a pig.
Remarkable.
There's this pig I like to watch on TikTok.
I don't know.
I think his name is
seen the
Harold.
pig.
I can't remember. I think it's Harold, but he's very funny.
Ooh.
They're so clever, and the way that they use the buttons also makes us feel like they're even more human. Right. But really what they're learning is conditioned responses.
Of course, yeah.
Right?
I feel like there's no way.
How could they?
Like the average dog, right, is going to do like that video that you shared with me forever ago that was just like treat,
yes.
right? Like that.
That's what this is. I do not want my dogs to be able to talk at all.
Yeah, no, me neither.
I'm
okay without that.
Yeah.
I do all the talking for them anyway. Yeah.
It's way more fun.
Yeah.
Tatum is my love. That's what I want for a talking dog. Just that's shout out to Tatum. Tatum talks.
I had other notes for you on this or that I was interested in. What do
you want to talk about, sissy?
Knowing what you're thinking about. Oh, parking again.
Oh yeah, because of the line thing is what made me think about that too. Parking, like, so I think you and I at this point in our life, we would pay $50 or $75 for parking before we were going to plan to walk more than 3 blocks after a concert.
Probably 3 blocks is probably the max.
The max, right? Yeah. 3 blocks and is further than you think it is at 11:30 at night. I would also
need to know, like, I wouldn't just pick a spot that was that far away. Like, I would need to see the venue to know, like, that it was close enough. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't just automatically be like, this is the first spot, so I'm just going to take it. Like, I would need to know that it were close enough. Yeah. But on the other side of that, though, one of the little things between John and I that we laugh about is that he will not park until he has circled the entire lot just in case there's a better spot, just in case there's a better spot. And I always tease him about it because I'm like, oh, there's a spot right there, and he never like, even though he's looking for parking, he never takes the spot that I'm like, there's a spot right there. And it often is like, oh, well, I didn't hear you until we passed. Well, yeah, but you were looking for parking, so I know you also saw that there was a spot there. But he's just like, it's the just in case. Like, it's like a fear of missing out. Yeah. Just in case. And then I'm like, okay, but by the time we come back around, that spot's going to be gone. And then now you're stuck because you had to just in case.
How do you define a good parking spot?
If it's easy to get in and out of and it's close enough to where you're going that, you can easily get there.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
This helps me understand. Like, I think our parking priorities with our husbands are probably very different too.
Yeah, probably.
Like my when I'm looking for a parking spot, I usually I thought this morning that I was neurotypical, but now I might not think that anymore. I park in the same area so that I never lose my car.
I only do that at the grocery store. But it's not the same area
everywhere that I go.
It's like a same general, like close enough to the cart corral or close enough to the beginning of it so that I don't forget where I am. But it's not like the same cart corral, the same quadrant of
it is for me. It is for me.
Okay.
So, but I might have zones, okay, that I frequently use.
Oh, okay.
And the zone.
So how do you approach a new parking place, like
with a plan,
when you're not familiar with
with a plan,
with familiarity,
with a plan, yeah, to adapt for that. But like the zones are chosen based on volume of other humans. I want less humans around my parking, because then I'm more likely to get the same spot every time, right? Like I'm more likely to have that space that I want if I use a space that not everyone is using, right? And I don't have to carry energy of where did I park my car. I know where I'm going to find my car. I always know that because I'm always in the same zone. Even if I didn't pay attention to where I was parking, I'm going to be able to find my car, especially with the new things and you beep, 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 you can find your car.
I can actually GPS to my car.
See, I have a 2015. I'm like just before that. Like it was the beginning of like OnStar and things like that. But I don't have, my car doesn't have its own navigation at all.
Mine doesn't either, but I can GPS to it. Like, and I have an app that will start my car.
Yeah,
and,
my
those
Jason
things too. But the
does on the Explorer.
GPS will tell me where I left my car.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah,
if I'm
yeah.
in a new
I could
place,
definitely.
It'll be like, are you trying to get back to your car?
I can definitely. Yes, my computer that I always have in my hand can help me with that if I need to. If I'm going to a brand new place for the first time, what I'm thinking about is how easy is it going to be for me to leave? It's always that's always what I'm thinking about.
What defines that? Like what makes it easy?
If it's a concert, if it's an event, right? Because I'm trying to think of reasons why I would be at a new place, like a new restaurant, like because I don't need a parking plan at someone's house necessarily.
Sure.
But if it's an event, I'm thinking about my exit and efficiency. So I might consider, am I going to want a bathroom on the way out? Yes or no? If I don't care about a bathroom on the way out, then I don't need to think about that, right? Like I'm just like thinking about how many turns is it through the parking lot? Am I going to be sitting here for 4 hours? Am I going to have to make 4 left turns to get out of the parking lot, or all right turns to get out of the parking lot? Like that matters in a traffic pattern. All left turns going to be a lot slower than all right turns. Oh, because you have to get out past people, wait, right? Yeah. So like that, my brain is thinking those things.
I think the furthest extent that that would come up for me is just if I'm facing the direction that I need to go when I leave.
Oh wow,
like that's it.
And I almost never back into a spot. Almost never.
I back into spots here because I learned my lesson from grinding down the bottom of that bumper.
Oh.
I have the biggest pet peeve with Toyota for making those stupid bumpers that are an inch off the ground. Yeah. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. It's not where the bumper of your car actually is. Why do we do this? Like, why are we doing this? This is stupid.
Yep. Yeah, and Jason always backs in. Does John always back into parking? Yep.
Yeah.
And so Jason's weird parking thing is that he has to readjust the car many times.
Well, I should, because I'm not good at backing in.
You should see how I left my car here.
And also, the turning radius with my car is not very good. John's is amazing. It's like it just turns exactly where you want it to turn, you know? That. And mine does not. Yeah. So that's it takes me a couple tries sometimes to get back in the spot in a way that I feel like is enough for the people around me. So this is the people pleasing. Yeah. But I wouldn't call it that. I would just call it being courteous.
Or just polite
to the people
just
around
a good
me.
Citizen.
Yeah.
Just a good citizen.
I just wish that someone would do that for me.
I know.
Is how
I did do it. So I parked kind of crooked here.
Yeah.
But I'm parked next to you on one side, and there's an open spot on the other side. Yeah. And the open spot is the last spot. So it has extra room.
Yeah.
And so I got out and looked at it.
Is it my numbered spot?
Nope. Oh. It's visitor spot.
Yep. Yeah.
And I got out and looked at my car, and I'm well within the lines.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just crooked in the lines.
Yep.
And so I walk away from that.
I find that as acceptable enough, I guess.
I walk away from that with my civil disobedience brain that just is like, meh, like it's crooked. Live with it.
Yeah.
You're just gonna have to live with that. Yeah. Like, but Jason could not abandon.
No, he would need to. He would need to redo it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and sometimes I redo it just because it's embarrassing. I'm like, I'm how many years now, and I still feel like I have to do this again.
Yeah.
Like,
see, that's the Bart Simpson in me. That's just like,
yeah. Yeah. But then there's other times when I'm like, okay, I'm well enough in the lines, you know, and I do check. Like when I go to pull in somewhere, I put on the reverse so I can see the camera.
Yes,
I check to see where the lines are on each side.
It's polite. I think it's polite. Being a good parker is being a good citizen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is returning the cart.
Oh, yes. Returning a cart. Like when you
It's a must.
I'm going to ask people, how can you tell when someone is good? Like, do they take their grocery cart back?
Well, I still feel like the good part is just.
I know. I
don't love the good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, it's one of the reasons I asked that question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Now I was thinking about like how you said in the beginning of the parking thing about like if you've seen it, like the walking 3 blocks or whatever.
Yeah.
Like Fenway Park is what comes to mind.
Yeah.
Because there are some great places to park, but you have to walk. And I'm happy to walk, but I want to walk this path, not that path. So I need to see it, and I need to totally get that.
Yeah, well, and there's safety considerations too.
100%.
Like if you're gonna have to walk at night and you're
100%.
2 women walking alone and you're carrying a bag.
Yep.
And that's another.
Bring
How do you
it.
feel about bags?
Bring it.
Because I have some strong feelings
Bags.
about bags.
I
Purse,
used to
work bag.
I used to like brag about not carrying a bag.
Ooh, what made
I
you
used
feel
to
like
think
you
that
needed to brag about it?
that it was like, well, look at me, I don't have to carry all that crap. Like, like I don't know.
just think
I'm never gonna. But really, that really was that I'm not responsible enough to have a bag.
Oh,
I will put it down and not pick it up.
Oh.
That was really during those years. That was really
Isn't
what it
that
was.
interesting?
Is that I could not be trusted. Well, and I was drinking then too.
Oh,
I would leave my wallet. I would leave my card at the bar.
What's funny about that is that it was probably just the drinking.
It's probably all it was.
Probably not that you're an
because
irresponsible human. You're just.
I do love to accessorize. I do love, like, I will wear all black, but I will have color shoes and a color bag.
Have a lot of accessories.
Yeah. I do love to.
I know. Yeah.
This one, it's my neighbor across the street. Her mom brings over all this vintage jewelry from the 80s for me to pick through and buy things. And then this was just a cheapo Christmas thing that I got this year. And Mama gave me that one.
Nice.
I know, isn't that pretty? Because I wear blue all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do love to accessorize. And sometimes when we go on vacation, Jason will get me a pretty new Kate Spade bag or something like that.
I love the look of bags, but the practical use of them I actually hate.
They're horrible.
When I did massage school, I learned so much about posture and your body and all of that, and that was around the same time that I was doing a lot of lifting and studying the body and personal training and all of those things.
Yeah.
And it's just terrible for you. Like they're not good for you because you tend to favor one side over the other. You always tend to like wear it on one side. You end up hitching like this all the time. And
the diaper bag
if you go a month without carrying a bag, so say this usually happens for me in the winter when I have pockets in my jacket, right?
Gotcha.
So I've got enough pockets that I can tuck enough things in there and just use my hands to carry whatever I need to carry.
Yep.
And so I won't have a bag coming in and out. And then I have to go back to a bag for some reason.
Interesting.
Then that day or that week or whatever, it will come back to me. It will come back to me.
That's fascinating.
And it'll hurt my neck and it'll hurt my shoulders and it changes your gait.
Yeah, I remember diaper bag years. I was getting massages and my massage therapist would say that you got to put the diaper bag down.
Yeah. If you carry a bag, it should never be on your shoulder. It should be in your hand, which isn't the safest for people stealing bags in cities and and things like that.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think now. I rarely carry a bag because my car is my bag.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Because you're in your car, you have everything.
I have everything. I'm a home health nurse. I could change your ostomy or your dressing. I change of clothes. I have fishing gear. I could ride a horse. I could go catch a fish. I could change your dressings. Like I am prepared in my car. And I usually can take what I need in my hands. If I bring my bag with me, it's because there's something in it that I don't have another tampons.
Sure.
I'm probably carrying tampons.
Yeah. Sure.
And I just am not, and I don't care if you see my tampons, but it's impolite to just set them on the table in a business meeting.
Yeah, I would prefer to have adequate pockets at all times.
Yes.
That is my preference. I would prefer to have that. Yeah. But I would tell you that what dressmakers who make pockets don't think about is if you put something in the pocket and the pocket isn't really structurally sound, then you can see whatever is in your pocket, and that looks ridiculous. Like ridiculous.
It's
so
absurd.
that drives me a little crazy. I can't quite live with that.
Yeah, you just know that it's 20-year-old people who probably have a penis that are designing those things.
I mean, I guess
It's
I
probably
don't know.
people who aren't wearing dresses, is what I'm saying, are
Right.
designing
or
those
who
dresses.
don't need the pockets. They just like having it.
Yeah.
They, maybe are not using it for anything that has any kind of weight to it, like a phone or
because they
keys.
carry a bag or whatever.
Keys are the worst for me.
Yeah.
Like the keys, that's just the worst because they're bulky and then they sit in your
like
pocket.
my giant
and
phone
it just
too.
looks
Look at
ridiculous.
the size of that thing.
I know. I hate
huge
having
heavy
my phone. I would rather have I liked having a watch for a while, but now
Yeah.
I feel like the bacteria is just I feel like it's gross.
I was getting the same like psychological like twitch of my phone as with the watch. So it was actually happening more often, like the check for notifications and the like that sort of phantom vibration that you'll sometimes like something vibrating.
Oh my gosh, I remember that. I don't feel that anymore because my phone is never on unless it's on, and if it's on, it's not vibrating, it's just ringing. But
right. Yeah. Weird.
Yeah, but that in the days of the flip phones.
Yes.
I did have that. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yep, I did have that. Hey, do you remember when your phone used to like do a weird thing? Like you would hear like a ding, 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 ding whenever you walked by like your microwave or got close to your TV or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that?
It must have been a frequency disruption, like noise, like too much signal in the same place to the degree that we could actually hear it, or it would make a vibration big enough that we could perceive it happening. It was happening all the time, but it just, for whatever reason, the data cables weren't shielded, or the stuff was made of different things. But or like you would hear the computer or the microwave make a noise, and then you would receive a text message, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You were just the amount of energy the phone was consuming increased. Yeah. And yet the other electronics, yeah. Interesting. Do you know, I saw a thing on the internet yesterday that said, it was a video and it showed they were putting sound waves into a liquid, okay? And then it would make a bubble. The bubble would collapse and light happened. Sound waves in liquid created light.
Oh. Wow. I don't know what that means.
The scientists were saying that, thank God, I read on and it said, we don't really understand this. I was like, oh, good. That's good, because it's making my brain hurt trying to think about it. But they were saying that something about the energy in the collapse of the bubble. And how do you get a bubble? You're disrupting. Sound vibrates. I can imagine you disrupt the fluid so that air gets into the fluid, and now there's a bubble. Just because it's the nature of air inside of a fluid, it can be together, you see a bubble. But why does it collapse, and why does that create a photon?
Yeah, that's cool.
That's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Well, that's very cool.
The world is so interesting. This was fun.
Yeah.
I think next time we should tear up some Dear Abby columns.
Ooh, okay.
I think we should do that.
Old ones.
Let's look up some old Dear Abby.
Into the vault.
Yeah. Maybe we'll even find some stuff that you can't really say anymore. That we could,
I don't know about that.
Well, we could do it in a way that we can talk about it.
It would be interesting to see how the advice changes. Why are you shedding so much?
And the questions, if the questions are different in the old days, let's say the 80s.
I think we would find that themes around relationships are probably the same,
but
the advice might be a little different now.
I'm interested to see. I wonder. Yeah, let's be thinking of that. Let's look that up.
Yeah.
I did create that Google form.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's linked on our last video.
Okay.
And
what
I'll
was
include
it again?
it.
It was asking people what
it's
they
just
feel.
If you could put an anonymous submission in, like, you're looking for some advice, or is there a topic that you would want us to talk about without telling everyone who you are?
Yep.
Yeah. So that exists. This is good. This is fun.
It is fun. Now I'm gonna go brush this doodle because apparently she's
Brush a
shedding.
doodle.
This shedless doodle is shedding like crazy because she's covering me in hair today.
Hypoallergenic doodle. Well, thank you, Sissy. I love you.
I love you.
Let's do this again soon.
Okay, sounds good. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Wish I could remember what song we were singing at the beginning.